Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with the Great American Bash edition of NXT, broadcast live last night on the USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Roxanne Perez successfully defended the NXT Women's title against Thea Hale.
Perez wisely rolling through, back to her feet, pop, rocks. Here is your winner, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. Unreal main event here tonight at the Great American Bash.
NXT Women's Tag Team Champs, the Unholy Union, were also in action, retaining against Meta-4.
Alba Fire, and Jakar now in the ring, and Jakar up over. It was countered, super kick under the jaw. Champions have said they feel overlooked, even as champions. Let that sink in for a moment. As we see the Unholy Union looking to put an evil touch on this matchup.
Good night.
And the evil duo retains their titles.
Tony D'Angelo retained the NXT Heritage Cup, defeating Tavion Heights 2-1 with the deciding fall coming in the 5th round. In a 6-woman tag team match, Fallon Henley, Jayce Jane, and Jasmine Nix went over Carmen Petrovich, Lola Vice, and Sol Ruka. In other results, Cedric Alexander beat Brooks Jensen, Jada Parker pinned Kendall Gray, and Gallus attacked Joe Hendry. In ratings news, Monday Night Raw this week drew 1.412 million viewers to Sci-Fi, where it was moved this week due to the Summer Olympics being on USA Network. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .51. AEW Collision drew an audience of 382,000 at TNT on Saturday, down from the previous week's audience of 472,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demo was a .12, down from the previous week's demo rating of .15. And Battle of the Belts, which aired immediately afterward on TNT, lost 74,000 viewers, bringing in an audience of 308,000. The demo rating for Battle of the Belts was a .09. And finally, in news from Japan, Julia announced that she will be finishing up with Rossy Ogawa's Marigold promotion next month, with her final scheduled date to be on August 19th at Korakuen Hall. She reportedly has 5 matches remaining with Marigold before she is expected to report to Orlando to the WWE Performance Center and NXT. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.